Hello, everybody. I'm back again with another review. This time I'm going to review Zombieland 2, or Zombieland Double Tap. It's a sequel to the 2009 Zombieland. I'm sure everybody who was pretty much in high school at that time around my age, like everybody was seeing that movie. Everybody knows Zombieland. Um, All-star cast, just really good zombie movie in general. It's been 10 years, though, since we got that one, and it felt like people after the first one came out really wanted a second one like right away. Everybody wanted it for the last couple years, and then it seemed like that hype kind of died down when they weren't doing it, and like when we could tell they weren't going to do it. And I was satisfied. I was pretty satisfied with them going, we don't feel like doing another Zombieland. We're good. The rumors started coming out, and then this new one got announced, and I was like, I don't know. Like I'm weird about sequels, but especially sequels to movies that are really good initially, like really really good, like original movies. I thought, um personally, I thought Zombieland 1 was amazing. Like I love Zombieland 1. That's one of my favorite zombie movies ever made. It's comedy, a little bit of drama, mostly comedy and zombie killing, and it's funny. This next one, though, I'm gonna have to say right now, I did not like this movie really at all. There were some things I liked about it, but majority of the time I was kind of just like, I'm bored. Like it just wasn't. It's not the sequel you want. It's not. This is like the downfall sequel. This isn't the sequel that makes you. It's really rare to find a sequel that makes you go, oh man, we need more of these. This movie made me not want any more. I don't want any more Zombieland. I just don't. I like the idea. I just don't want this anymore. That's just me, though. Obviously, some of the reasons I personally feel that way. Well, actually, I'll just start with the things I did like about the movie, which is pretty easy. I'm trying not to spoil anything. The original cast comes back, everything like that. The movie pretty much starts with the narrating, from Jesse Eisenberg, the awesome narrations that he does in the beginning of the movie, where he kind of shows off some of the rules and like some of the newer zombies that have evolved. This movie takes place literally 10 years later. It's like Boondock Saints style, how it's like they actually have been surviving off camera for 10 years, and that's really cool. I like that idea a lot. I'm glad they didn't try to it wouldn't have made sense to make the characters the same age. Abigail Breslin is so much older now. Speaking of, she was not really in the movie that much. She was a character, but she wasn't. I definitely think that new blonde dumb girl in the movie, I forget what her name is. Her name was Madison in the movie, but she was more of a character than Abigail Breslin was. But what I did like about this movie is the nostalgia from the beginning. Like they did the whole Metallica thing where they were like slow motion killing zombies, and it was really brutal. There were some cool killings. It was really awesome. Having fun with the credits and everything like that. It was really cool. I would say about 25 to 30 minutes starting this movie. It was pretty good stuff. It was just it's the story pretty much just entails like they've been surviving. They found a place to live. Like an actual home. It's the White House actually. So like they pretty much like made a home in the White House for 10 years, and that's where they've been chilling. You know what I mean? Like that's like their hub. It's a really cool idea. I like it. You know what I mean? All four characters are still like together and hanging out, and they're really good at what they do now. They know how to kill zombies very smoothly, very well. They're very well team based. The thing is, though, the characters start to resent each other a little bit. They kind of get tired of each other. Like, no spoilers here. I'm trying not to, but like Emma Stone and Jesse Eisenberg's characters, they kind of start like drifting apart in a way. Columbus, Jesse Eisenberg wants to stay with her, and she's kind of just feeling like she's like settled, which is funny because it's a zombie apocalypse. You're gonna settle. But the movie starts off with pretty much them getting tired of each other. Woody Harrelson's character wants to go off on his own too. He's kind of ready to do his own thing, or so he thinks. Jesse Eisenberg is really the only character in this movie that wants everybody to stay together, but he doesn't really vocalize that as much. You can just tell he's a homebody. Movie is pretty much about Abigail Breslin and Emma Stone. They take off, like they leave, they leave, and this is where the movie starts to get really shitty. They leave a note and they say, "Hey, we're leaving, goodbye." You know what I mean? And like it's all sad for a second, but the problem is like you don't get much like time with them being away. Like it kind of Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg like are like kind of moping about it for like maybe a scene, maybe like a 3-minute scene, and then I don't know where like it's a month later, and like they're fine without them. You know what I mean? And like it's I don't know. They meet this Madison girl, this blonde girl. She's been living in the mall, and they find her and they take her back. And Jesse Eisenberg gets with her and like fucks her and everything. And then literally the next day, Emma Stone comes back saying that Abigail Breslin's character ditched her, like pretty much took off with some hippie. That's pretty funny. But with Abigail Breslin's character being like gone, they only show her a couple times, like with that guy named Berkeley, pretty much the hippie guy, and they're heading somewhere. I don't know where the fuck they're going, but the movie is pretty much about Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, Woody Harrelson, and the blonde girl going on a road trip to find Abigail Breslin. The problem is it's not really a road trip story. It's more like every scene they're in another city. There's not a lot of like development at all. It's like the movie's an hour and 39 minutes long, so that right there is kind of just like it's a short movie. So with that being said, it's they don't get to go into things that well at all. And I was in the movie with Adriana, and we both were kind of just like, this is going too fast. Like certain stuff was going too fast. We went from happy, she leaves, comes back, they're on the road, bad things happen, on the road again. It's not really like, it doesn't develop as well as the first one did. You don't get as much like character development. And they show in the beginning that there's new zombies. Like there's a couple new zombies. There's like a Homer, which is like a Homer Simpson type one that's just stupid and doesn't pay attention. There's the fast ones. And then there's like a new breed of like zombie they call it the T-800. It's the Terminator is what they call it, because it doesn't die for some reason in one shot. They don't really show how those become those and like what's causing everything, but like I guess that doesn't matter. I guess it's more about the characters. But my problem is, if it's more about the characters, then why was the character development in this movie not that good? Like it really wasn't that good. The scene by scene wasn't that good. It was just kind of rushed, and like I almost felt like this movie was like, it wasn't to satisfy us, it was to take some money from us. Like that's how it felt to me. And like that sucks, because I really like Zombieland. I really like it. I like the idea. And they have some good ideas in this movie. There are some really good ideas, some really cool zombie killing ideas. For instance, there's one that I thought was a little bit ridiculous, but it was funny. Woody Harrelson's character really wants that whole zombie kill of the week thing, and like there's a zombie kill of the month and zombie kill of the year, you know what I mean? And every time he thinks he's got it, Jesse Eisenberg goes, close, but no cigars, and it shows that the guy who actually got the reward, like they did in the first one kind of, but they more elaborated on it in this one. They show a guy in Paris, he puts a jack, like a car jack, under the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and he makes it fall over onto some zombies. Problem with that is like, it's supposed to be funny, but like he only does it to like 3 zombies, which is like, okay, that's funny, but it would have been even cooler if it was like a group of zombies that he landed an entire Pisa on, you know what I mean? It was just the little things that felt like they didn't like really like push to go into more detail on, and that kind of sucks. But I also felt like the last like chunk of the movie was very rushed. Like there wasn't really much of like a conflict. Really, the conflict was getting to Abigail Breslin, and where she goes isn't even a bad place. Like they're good people. They're all hippies. So like it's there's nothing new about this movie. There's nothing different about this movie. They really just brought the characters back to get us to get into theaters and watch it. I'm gonna try and make this short and sweet, because that's really my opinion on it. You just saw a cat go by. They want to be fed, but that's really my big opinion on it right now. Like I don't think this is a movie you should see in theaters. I don't think this is a movie you should really waste much money on. If you get a chance to maybe catch it on DVD, that'd be something cool to do. But as of right now, I'm gonna pretend that this movie doesn't exist. To be honest with you, that's kind of how it was for me. But they do set it up for more. For now, from Zombieland, we'll see you again. They do things like that, and that sucks. Like, I don't want to see any more of this. Like, they prove that I don't need to see these characters anymore on screen together. They're good, but, like, Zombieland 1 was solid. That was the solid foundation. Now this is kind of just goo. If I got to give this a rating, I'm going to, out of 100%, 100 being the best, I'm going to actually give this movie, I thought about, when I left the movie, I thought maybe like a 36 out of 100. which isn't really that great at all. Now thinking about it a little more, it did make me laugh a little bit. There were a couple cheesy scenes, you know, that were pretty good. Other than that, the movie was kind of a shitstorm. I'm gonna give it like a 47. Like a 47. 47 out of 100. I feel like that's not too bad. But anyway, though, that's the video. That's the review. Please subscribe if you liked it. You know, let me know what I can do differently. But other than that, bye.